November 27th, 2025. Crown Sydney Casino. A surveillance operator leans forward, squinting at monitor 17. The woman at table 43 has been winning for 3 hours straight. Her betting pattern is wrong. Too precise. Too confident. She places 15,000 on banker just as the cards turn favorable. Again. And again. The operator zooms in, frame by frame, until he sees the tiny lens embedded in the Mickey Mouse graphic on her shirt. What he doesn't know yet is that this arrest will become the symbol of something much bigger. Something the casino industry has been dreading for years. The smartphone Baccarat crisis has arrived, and casinos across the world are about to realize they're fighting a war they're already losing. The woman's name is Dilnoza Israilova, 36 years old. She and her husband Alisher Akoja arrived from Kazakhstan in October, applied for casino membership the same day, and within 6 weeks had won 1.17 million Australian dollars. When police arrested them, they found magnetized probes, batteries, a phone modified with a mirror attachment, and deep-seated earpieces so small they were invisible to the naked eye. The technology wasn't exotic. It wasn't some James Bond gadget available only to criminal masterminds. Everything they used could be purchased online for less than $500. And that's what should terrify every casino executive watching this video, because if it's that easy, that accessible, that profitable, then Dilnoza and Alisher Akoja weren't pioneers. They were symptoms of an epidemic that's been building for 3 years. Let's rewind to July 2023. Hard Rock Casino, Northern Indiana. 6 players walk in over the course of a week and systematically dismantle the Baccarat tables for $700,000. The method is elegant in its simplicity. One player manipulates the cut card during the shuffle, fanning the deck just long enough for a concealed camera to capture the sequence. The footage gets transmitted to an accomplice sitting in a hotel room blocks away, analyzing the card order with specialized software. Then comes the communication through those same invisible earpieces telling the players at the table exactly when to bet big and when to fold. The casino watches it happen in real time on their surveillance feeds, but they can't prove anything until it's too late. The players are Jianchu Liu, Fuxiang Liu, Qinyang Zhang, Honghui Wu, Daiki Wang, and Yuhan Hu. They hit at least 10 casinos across 6 states: Indiana, Pennsylvania, New York, California, Mississippi, and Illinois. They stole $1.5 million, and as of right now, every single one of them is still wanted by authorities. Still out there. Still running the same operation at casinos that haven't figured out they're being targeted. But here's where the story gets truly disturbing. Those 6 suspects aren't using some proprietary technology developed by organized crime syndicates. They're using apps. Smartphone apps. Some are marketed as Baccarat card counting calculators, perfectly legal tools that track which cards have been played and calculate the shifting probabilities for side bets. You can download them right now from app stores, read reviews from thousands of users, and nobody will stop you. Because technically, using a card counting app at a casino isn't illegal in most jurisdictions. Casinos allow players to take notes, to use pencil and paper to track patterns. So why not a phone? The industry spent 15 years teaching players that smartphones were essential tools for loyalty programs, digital wallets, restaurant reservations. Now those same devices have become weapons, and casinos can't ban them without destroying their own business model. Dr. Elliot Jacobson, one of the world's leading experts on advantage play, has documented exactly which Baccarat side bets are most vulnerable to card counting. The Dragon 7, the Panda 8. Side bets that casinos introduced to speed up the game and increase action. Side bets that created mathematical opportunities for players with the right tools. Jacobson's research is publicly available on his website, and cheating rings have been using it as a blueprint. They know which bets to target. They know when the odds shift in their favor. And they know casinos don't monitor side bets with the same intensity they monitor the main game. It's a perfect storm of casino greed, technological accessibility, and mathematical exploitation. At the 2026 World Game Protection Conference happening right now, industry experts are presenting emergency protocols for what they're calling technology-enabled cheating. The top 3 threats? Concealed cameras for whole card spotting, poker analyzers that can predict outcomes in real time, and Baccarat card counting apps that turn amateur gamblers into advantaged players overnight. The conference attendees are learning something terrifying. These devices aren't rare. A guest speaker who went undercover in China back in 2016 was shown a warehouse filled with poker analyzers ready for global shipment. The supplier claimed they'd sold 7,500 units that year alone. 7,500. And that was a decade ago, before smartphone technology became exponentially more powerful, more discreet, and more affordable. Mohegan, Pennsylvania casino caught Jian Shuyu on surveillance launching an app at the Baccarat table. He darkened his screen to avoid detection, placed his phone under a stack of scorecards, then physically manipulated the dealer's hands to control how the deck was held during the cut. The audacity is stunning. He's literally directing casino employees how to assist in his own cheating scheme, and it works because dealers are trained to accommodate high rollers to make them comfortable, to give them what they want. You understood that psychology, weaponized it, and walked out with hundreds of thousands of dollars before anyone realized what was happening. Illinois gaming regulators have confirmed that this same group was banned from Bally's Casino Chicago shortly after it opened. But here's the problem: there's no unified national database for casino bans in the United States. A player kicked out of one casino can drive through hours to the next state and start fresh. The Kazakhstan couple arrested at Crown Sydney had no criminal history in Australia. They applied for membership and were welcomed as international guests. The casino had no way to know they were professional cheaters until after they D-won over $1 million. And even then, the only reason they got caught was a vigilant surveillance operator who happened to notice something suspicious about a Mickey Mouse t-shirt. Crown Resorts responded by temporarily suspending all poker operations, installing AI-driven card monitoring systems, and implementing reinforced table-level surveillance. Other casinos are scrambling to do the same. They're updating software, training staff to recognize cheating patterns, coordinating with law enforcement. But every security measure comes with a cost, and that cost gets passed to players through worse odds, stricter rules, and an overall degraded casino experience. The cheaters are forcing casinos to choose between profitability and security, and there's no winning that trade-off. The NBA high-stakes poker scandal of 2025 allegedly involved similar devices, though details remain murky due to ongoing investigations. What's clear is that professional cheating operations have industrialized. They're recruiting teams, developing standardized techniques, sharing intelligence across continents. The 6 suspects wanted for the multi-state Baccarat ring didn't invent their methods from scratch. They learned from predecessors, refined the approach, and executed it with military precision. Now they're teaching the next generation, who will improve the technology further, making detection even harder. Casino executives are facing an impossible reality. The average smartphone in 2026 has more computing power than NASA had during the moon landing. It has cameras capable of capturing 4K video in low light. It has wireless connectivity that can transmit data instantly across the globe. It has apps that can run complex mathematical simulations in milliseconds. And hundreds of millions of people walk around with these devices in their pockets every single day, expecting to use them freely in public spaces. Casinos can't confiscate phones without driving away customers. They can't install signal jammers without violating federal communications laws. They can't ban card counting apps that are technically legal to own. So what can they do? Some are betting on artificial intelligence systems that analyze player behavior patterns, detect statistical anomalies, and flag suspicious activity before massive losses occur. Others are redesigning table games entirely, introducing continuous shuffling machines that eliminate the deck depletion advantage. A few are accepting that Baccarat as we know it might not survive in its current form, at least not with the side bets that make it profitable. The crisis isn't just about catching cheaters. It is about whether traditional table games can exist in an era where every player potentially has a supercomputer and a spy camera concealed on their body. The industry spent decades convincing itself that high-tech cheating was a niche problem, something only sophisticated criminal organizations could pull off. That delusion died in 2025, when a couple from Kazakhstan can show up with commercially available technology and steal over $1 million in 6 weeks. When 6 players can systematically rob 10 casinos across multiple states and remain at large for years when apps designed for cheating are openly sold and reviewed on mainstream platforms. The problem is no longer niche. It's systemic. It's existential. And as we move deeper into 2026, every casino in the world is asking the same question: how many others are out there right now sitting at tables running apps? Wearing hidden cameras winning fortunes while we watch helplessly on surveillance feeds unable to prove anything until the money is already gone? The smartphone Baccarat crisis isn't coming. It's already here. The only question left is whether the industry can adapt fast enough to survive it.